Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick painting this week, so I thought it would be fun to do a 3-color painting challenge. I wanted to paint a pink sky over an ocean that was kind of at sunset, since that's the most common and simple thing for me to paint because I paint water and skies so often. This painting only ended up taking me an hour, which is much shorter than my normal paintings, which takes me like a minimum of 6 to 8 hours. I actually couldn't spend a lot of time on this painting as I normally would have hoped, because I have a bunch of art projects that I've been working on recently and my schedule has just been really busy. Since the whole painting I was only limited to 3 colors for the sky, I only ended up really using 2 of the shades since the third one was way too dark and was my base color for the water. This caused my sky to not be really as detailed, and instead of trying to achieve a bunch of intricate clouds and different colors, since I was only limited to 3 colors, I tried to make a smooth background with a few clouds so it wouldn't be super flat and boring to look at. I tried to minimize the use of white and black for this painting because I know some people think that white and black count as two colors, and I wasn't sure, so I just tried to only use the 3 I picked out. It was the reason why my clouds are darker and use the same colors as the water, because I couldn't really make bright clouds because I didn't want to use as much white. And this also caused me not to have a clear, distinct sun and the sky to be more blended like I was trying to do. I used to have a set way that I painted all water, and you can see this in I think the painting that I did when I was in Hawaii. I'll have a card so you can check that video out if you want. But the way I used to paint water is I would paint curved lines, and they would be mostly straight but then a little bit curved upwards, and I would paint that and kind of overlap each other, and it's a quick motion that I could do really easily. And you pick a shade that was slightly darker than the color you were using as your base color, whether it be blue, purple, orange, depended on what your sky color was. But I used to do that quick line and curved motion with my paintbrush, and it would be really small towards the background and gradually get larger as I got closer to the foreground. But later on when I was painting, and I especially did this when I was painting the one I did of the beach under a bridge that was more recently, I realized that it's not super realistic for the foreground because water doesn't really have that perfect uniform shape, although it always looks like this kind of line motion. It looks better for the background because the lines are all closer together and more uniform. But a lot of times if you're going for a more realistic kind of water, for the foreground especially, you want to look, and if you really want to copy what a photo looks like for the water, you want to look about how the certain shapes are specifically, because if you just say, this is what water looks like in my head, and you just paint that for everything, it won't look like that certain photo. You can kind of see me do that in the beach painting. One important thing for painting oceans is, since water is technically clear, it's reflecting the color of the sky. So a lot of times oceans look blue because most of the day the sky is blue. But once you get to sunsets and darker, the color of the water changes. So if you're painting a sunset with a lot of peaches and oranges and reds and purples, if you have really, really saturated blue water, it doesn't make sense because the water wouldn't be that color. It would be more of probably more of the darker color, and then towards the center or wherever the sun is hitting the water directly, there would be more white and then diffusing to different shades of pink and peaches. But mainly the colors that you use for the sky are not necessarily the same colors, but pretty similar colors for the water. And if you're kind of confused and I'm not really sure what colors to use, definitely look up a photo of a sunset beach painting, and what I'm talking about will be more clear. I really enjoyed doing these short, small paintings. I know my most popular video on my channel is just me painting a bunch of really tiny canvases. But it's really fun because it's not super stressful, and where a lot of my larger paintings that I do plan on selling before I paint it. It's more stressful because I really wanted to get it to look photorealistic. But when I'm doing these like small paintings that are just for fun and just for me and I'm not selling, it's really fun because it's just relaxing and calm and I'm not stressed. Like, I know it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm not going to be spending a bunch of time on it. Like, I'm still being creative and practicing art and with different paintings. So I wasn't too worried about achieving perfect realism since I'm not selling it, and this painting was mainly for fun. I hope you enjoyed this painting time lapse. I had a lot of fun painting it. Let me know if you have any tutorials you would like. I used to get a lot of tutorial requests before when I did old tutorials, but and I watched in the back, I realized the qualities weren't that great, and I ended up removing most of my tutorials. But since I'm deciding to do more voiceover videos recently, I am very open to doing any kind of tutorials, whether you want me to show you like proportions, trees, water, landscapes, animals, fur, painting fur. I know that can be tricky for a lot of people, but just any suggestion, or whether you want me to do just different art challenge, like one color marker challenge or anything like that. Totally open for suggestions. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.